So, till a few years ago, investing in equity markets was limited, I think, to a small part of the population. जो करते आए हैं वो करते थे. The revolution that you've seen in the last 4 to 5 years, let's start with that, because I think that's the watermark, in a sense, when you look back at the Indian equity markets.
Yeah. See, I started my career in stock market in 1980. So I have seen 45 years of the market. And it was extremely primitive in 80s. And I was also not knowing much about the markets and started building research prowess and slowly build the company and all. But it was going on till about 2020. And somewhere in 90s, this KYC trouble came for introduction of the clients. And it became so notorious that it was taking 8-10 days to open an account. And it went on like this till 2020. By 2020, what happened was digital infrastructure was ready for the payment, for trading. Everything was ready, digital infrastructure was ready, but still KYC was physical. And in 2020, thanks to COVID, what they did, they removed the physical verification. You started getting, instead of 3 lakh customers, we started getting 3 million customers per month.
Wow.
You just said in last 12 months you did 3.8 million customers per month. And it is cumulative in character, it's not a flow. It's an accumulation. It's like a dam. So number of customers, it's not that 3 million came and some other 3 million came next month. It is all 185, 190 million customers are participating in the market every day. In Mahakumbh, on the best of the day, maybe 50 million people will take a dip. Here, on an average day, there will be more than 50 million people who are taking dip. So this is Mahakumbh. And this is just about the start. When we go to in 3 years' time to 300 million, right now we are in 190. And see, there are some duplications, some 40-50% there must be duplication. Still we'll go to 300 million. And my sense is by turn of the decade, we might be at 500 million. So this is a relentless expansion of the capital market. This kind of thing happens once in a lifetime. These are life-changing things. This will change the trajectory of corporate history of India, I'm telling you. It is just about begun. And that's why you must have seen hottest IPO market in the world. So a lot of things will happen as we go along. But right now, there was too much of demand. Between 2020 and 2024, there was excessive demand for the stocks. And so incidentally, FIs, they turned negative at some point of time as the valuation became a little expensive, but they have only large caps. So when they started selling large caps, the entire momentum shifted to mid and small, where there was no play. There was only one way, and the stock went to the roof.
Now the question really is that revolution a one-way revolution? Let's come to what is happening in the markets right now and the context of it. So yes, we have had a downtick in key indices. FIIs have been selling at record levels. We've had maybe 2 consecutive, I would say 3 or 4 consecutive quarters of corporate results which have not been up to the mark. But the retail investor or the Indian investor has continuously shown faith. They've very famously been called the shock absorbers for the capital markets. So my question to you is, if you are speaking to these shock absorbers right now, what is your message to them? How do they make sure that they sail through this storm?
See, it's painful. When markets go down, I don't like it, nobody likes it. Whosoever is invested, they would like to see higher price. But for every unloam, you have to have vilom. You can't just keep doing up and up in the breathing also. You have to come down. So the correction and healthy correction is a very, very integral part of the market. In last 45 years, I have understood that. I also don't like the corrective phase. But it is almost like a part of the life. Reversion to mean is part of the life. So last year, in 2024, the index went up by 10%. But everybody's portfolio did anywhere between 30 to 40%, 50%, or maybe 70%. Lower the size of the stock, higher was the return. Okay? Now, in the current year, index actually will go down by 10, 12% or 15%. But the portfolio will go down by much larger amount.
So, 1 minute. You think that the index in the current year could go down by 10, 12% and
already it has gone down.
even further? Is more pain
I don't
there?
know.
We don't know. Okay.
I don't know about that. I'm just saying, I'm just making a broad this thing that in calendar 24, when the index went up by 10-12%, you have no business to make 40%. That 30% जो है ना वो मतलब क्या बोलूँ मैं, it's a stolen money. वो जाएगा आपका, क्यों जाएगा, कैसे जाएगा मुझे नहीं मालूम. दो चार बदमाश लोग या अच्छे लोग जो हैं वो बचा लेंगे, बाकी ब्रॉडर मार्केट से निकल जाएगा वो. That's how it works. The reversion even must like that.
क्या यही हो रहा है इस वक्त? Is that what we're seeing right now? Because I'm asking about, so a very prominent person recently talked about stopping SIPs in small and mid-cap stocks. Said that small and mid-cap stocks right now, you should exit lock, stock and barrel. Was the exact quote. Now coincidence हो सकता है कि तब से त्राही मची हुई है, coincidence हो सकता है, लेकिन ये सवाल तो है कि ये क्या है जो बाकियों को नहीं दिख रहा है.
The very concept of SIP, systematic investment plan. So आप जो है डॉलर कॉस्ट एवरेजिंग, तो आप जब बहुत ऊंचा रहता है तब भी आप एक रुपये का खरीदते हैं, और जब बहुत नीचे रहता है तो भी आप 1 रुपये का खरीदते हैं. सो दैट एवरेजिंग आउट विल मार्केट डू इट. You should not break your SIP. You should not break your SIP. In fact, longer the SIP, maybe the SIP might be required to be longer than 35-40 months. You know, if you stay a little longer, there will be deep correction. You will buy very cheap, and then again the smooth curve will happen. It's not that once the mid cap or small cap they correct, they will never come back. All the good companies they'll come back.
Understood. But is there a fundamental issue with the way small and mid-cap companies have been valued and the pace at which they have grown? Is there a fundamental concern, which is why the correction right now is what we are seeing?
But see, you just not started the SIP like yesterday.
Yeah.
Say a year back also you started. So first you had a 40% up. For the first 12 months you had 40% growth. Now you'll pay some portion of that you'll give away. And then in 25 you'll give away, in 26 again you'll start making it. So SIP is all about averages.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, so it is, you must understand the very idea of SIP. You know, it is for taking, you should not bother about where the market is.
सर सिप को एक बार छोड़ दीजिए, आप स्मॉल मिड कैप स्टॉक्स के बारे में बताइए.
हाँ, क्या बोल रहे थे?
ओवरहीटेड, ओवरवैल्यूड, जो हो रहा है वो बराबर है.
जो हो रहा है वो बराबर है. ओके, अभी और कितना होगा मेरे नहीं मालूम. See, as I told you right in the beginning that there was excessive flow. See, आप देखिए जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड फ्लो है. म्यूचुअल फ्लो, how the stack is. Your entire say 400 lakh crores as of today, I think it is about 405 lakh crores or 410 lakh crores is the total market cap. Say 2 or 3 years back, the breakup was about 75 to 80% was large cap, that is top 100 companies or 150 companies, and mid cap would be about 15-16%, and 7-8%, 9% would be small cap. Now, how the flow is? See, flow should also be matching. But flow was different. Flow is like 15% is going to small cap, and 30-35% is going to mid cap. And large cap is getting again 35%. So 65% of the market cap is getting 35% flow, and 20% of the market cap is getting 35%. So what is going to happen? You're pushing too much of money in a much smaller market, and then you see the firework.